all of the textbook material stuff, but if you don't review it, pretty much the tests are just all book.
Yeah.
And if you think you can get away with just looking at the definition online, it's not gonna happen.
I guess like the one thing is that it's like a self-motivation class.
How to study better, how to get more workload out, but like to remember it in the future.
I think I wish I would have known how much resources are really available to you now with all the online videos and other teachers putting assignments that they have had their classes do up online, because those are really helpful when it comes to studying for the AP test.
Definitely like crash course. Those help. Like even though they're fast, like they get like the gist of what you need to know. So that's nice.
On YouTube, you can find crash course videos for almost all of our units. Other online resources include review games like Kahoot, which we play in class, and games available on Quizlet. Also, your teacher's website is a good source of resources that can be found online to study for tests. The College Board has previous year AP tests for you to look at and study with.
I definitely thought that the study guides that the school checked out were really helpful, because they kind of mirrored the book, and the test questions, like the example test questions they give you, are very similar to the ones that you'll see on AP.
I liked the Kip Kinkle one, which I'm pretty sure was like abnormal psychology. That's really interesting to just like watch like a real world experience, like with him having like mental disorders and going out and killing like all those people.
I really liked the videos for the child development section. I felt seeing those in action made the terms stick a lot better in my mind later.
Class.
I'm the wrong person. I'm the wrong person to ask. There's not enough time management for this girl. I don't know.
I manage mine by definitely not getting behind on homework, because if that backs up at all, it's a pain to do later, and you don't want to sit down and read all that at once.
Be prepared to die.
Okay, no. Probably just to remember that you can do it, and you just kind of have to push through all the work that there is, because it's really interesting stuff once you get down to it.
My personal favorite tool to study with were these Barron's AP Psychology flashcards. They were helpful because I didn't have to make my own. Another study tip is to have good notes that are easy for you personally to memorize. Here are some of the top terms derived from our units in AP Psychology this year. In this unit, we learned about functionalism. It's an early school of thought promoted by James and influenced by Darwin. It explored how mental and behavioral processes function. Something we learned about in the learning unit was habituation. This is how an organism's response decreases the more it's exposed to a stimulus. Something we learned about in our personality unit was the unconscious. According to Freud, a reservoir of mostly unacceptable thoughts, wishes, feelings, and memories were within our unconscious. The last unit that I will address is the biology unit. In this unit, we learned about something called plasticity. It's the brain's ability to change, especially during childhood. In psych, we always come across some tricky spots. Here's some tips and tricks to help you get over them. During the sensation and perceptions unit, we learn about the biology of the eye. This can be tricky because there are many different parts of the eye, and one of the trickiest spots is the rods and the cones. We learned that rods have to do with detecting black, white, and gray objects, and cones have to do with giving rise to color sensations. So for tests, you can use this trick, cones equals colorful, to help you remember that cones have to do with color in sight and rods have to do with black and white. Another tricky spot can be during the personality unit. You have to memorize the big 5, as in the top 5 personality factors. They are conscientiousness, agreeableness, neuroticism, openness, and extroversion. Their words spell out the word canoe. This worked really well for me, and it is recommended by the book. In the biology unit, we learn about the differences between the left and the right brain. The left side is primarily having to do with logic, mathematical problems, etc., and the right is generally having to do with spatial awareness, creativity, etc. The way you can remember left from right would be to think of left as logic. Because both have L's, it's helpful to remember it like that.